All right. This microphone might be a little too good, but we'll see. The other one wasn't working at all. The webcam one sucked. And this new one is just like picking up on everything that I don't want it to pick up on. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try to move the fan so there's not so much background noise. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. Thing is, I can't like fart without this thing picking up on it, so that's not the best. But I did finally get an arm, but if I touch the arm, it makes this horrible sound like an avalanche is happening. So, all right. Yes, I exist. Thank you, Bruce. Let me see if I can, hold on, adjust this real quick. Oh God, that's terrible. Hold on, I know what to do. All right, so the sound is good. It's just like it's too much. It's too much. Looking at professional stuff. I don't know. This was like $30 tops on Amazon, and it was the one that was going to get here the fastest, so I just went with that. So I don't know how many of you were here when I did the first part of this. I think it was last Sunday, or it might have been the Sunday before that, where I was just like talking about after work. I was talking about like the ins and outs of what actually qualifies for inpatient psych or a quarter psych eval, and then it got too late, and I was just like, I can't finish talking about this stuff. So I said I would do a part 2. So here we are. I'm just here to answer any of your questions, as well as we're gonna do the bad advice segment with Bruce and Brad after that. So we'll do like the first 20 minutes of this, and then we'll do that. In the bad advice segment, anyone who's a viewer who hasn't been in that before, you can submit a question for bad advice. We will answer with bad advice only, so don't ask for real life advice. I will give you shitty advice, so don't follow it. But if you want to ask a question for that, please email it to me. I will write my email in the thing right now, or you can send me a DM on Discord if you want to do a call in. If you want to do a call in, we can make that happen. All right, there we go. Hey, Winks, what's up? All right. Oops, my bad. Okay. Just want to cancel that. Okay, you can see my email. I always have to check and make sure it goes through. So what I do, for those of you who don't know, is like I work in a hospital, an ER, and patients who come into the ER on a psych hold or who come in with psych problems and are wanting to see if they need to be on a psych hold. I talk to them and do the initial evaluation, have the conversation about what happened, what got you here, and then determine, like, does this person actually need to be involuntarily hospitalized? The answer is no, then I can help them seek out treatment in the community, even if that means a voluntary hospitalization. Like, they would have to go to a community center, but the goal is always the least restrictive mode of treatment. So if you have somebody who, like doesn't want to go to involuntary psych, they were brought in on a Baker Act, which is an involuntary hold by law enforcement where I live. And you're talking to them, and I'm like, this person doesn't really seem like they are an immediate incredible threat of harm to themselves. They seem capable of taking care of themselves, that kind of thing. You don't have to keep them. So a common misconception is that people think, like, if somebody's put on a Baker Act, somebody's put on a psych hold, and they get taken to the hospital, to the ER, like, they are required to be kept for 72 hours. That's not true. It could be a 1 hour, but they are required to be evaluated by a doctor. They're required to be seen by a licensed physician. So our ER doctors will page me. I will go talk to the patient. And this ER, this is like a packed ER. This is not like a place that's conducive to anything therapeutic as long as they're in the ER before they get to the unit, and it's loud. There's a lot going on. You could be sandwiched between two people screaming. If you're there for high blood pressure, that sucks. That kind of thing. So yeah. Dude, listen how loud that is when I'm just trying to take a sip. I might have to go back to my other mic. Damn. I wonder if Brad can help me with, like, fixing that somehow. Not right now, but later. So if somebody comes in and they're in the ER and it's clearly distressing them, and they were brought in for an issue, like, let's say, here's a common example. They were brought in for an issue where somebody had gone to get a court-ordered ex parte, which is a Baker Act ordered by a judge based on like a family petition or something like that. It's kind of similar to like a Marchman Act, which is for drugs, but we'll get into that in a minute. I don't know, Amy. Sorry. So if somebody comes in on that and it's like, I was just treated for this, or I was just seen for this, and the judge who signed off on the order, like they didn't know that, they're clearly not benefiting from staying in the ER. They're not going to benefit from another psych hospitalization after they just got out of the psych hospital and are doing better. That's a case in which I would go to the doctor and say like, hey, I don't think this person really would benefit from being held. At this point, it would just be more like imprisonment. Like it wouldn't be giving them anything beneficial. It wouldn't be doing any good for them at all. So yeah. All I said was I was talking to my cop friend about this just today because he had to Baker Act a 19-year-old guy last night. Gotcha. Yeah. So there's a few types of law enforcement Baker Act in my mind. This is not formal whatsoever, but like there's seasoned officer who like knows what he's doing and writes a decent report in the Baker Act. There's officer who is about to be at the end of his shift, picks someone up, doesn't really want to do the paperwork, and you maybe get like one line. And then there's new officer who doesn't really know what qualifies for a Baker Act and brings someone in on something completely inappropriate. So, yeah. Let's see. Channelie, a lot of time I think most are a cry for help, but you never know. I mean, there's a lot of that, yeah. That or like I was in an argument with somebody, not me personally, but they were in an argument with somebody and they said something they didn't mean to get a reaction. They weren't expecting that reaction to be to call 911. So that's why I always tell people, like, even if you're with somebody who makes threats like that, or if you're with somebody you feel like they're being manipulative and they're not actually going to hurt themselves, even if you feel like they're full of shit, call 911. First and foremost, because if they are serious, then they're going to get to where they need to go. And second, because if this is like a pattern of behavior that they're using to kind of gain some sort of emotional control and to like, you know, keep you around or whatever, which is common in like emotionally abusive relationships, then doing that, calling 911 is probably the only thing that might get them to stop doing that, because they're not going to want to get hauled to the hospital every time. And honestly, by the time they get home from the hospital, you could be gone. And that, to me, that shows them, you know, like, hey, I'm not going to put up with this, so don't even try that anymore. So if somebody says something like that to you, either take it seriously, or if you know they're full of shit, like treat it like you take it seriously, you know? Channelie, yes, that's what I mean. They say it for attention, then realize, oh shoot, I went too far. Yep, that happens a lot. So people will, you know, be drinking or they'll be smoking pot or something, and they'll get angry with their person they're hanging out with, and they'll say something they don't mean. They're oftentimes like that person, like if it's a girlfriend or something, gets in touch with the family, and the family will then call law enforcement. But it happens a lot. And then the unfortunate thing about that is, like, sometimes when you talk to the doctors, it's like, we've never seen this person before. We don't have a lot of background on them. And because we do get a lot of recurring patients. And so, you know, you kind of know them and you know what their baseline is and stuff like that. It sucks for the person who comes in who said something they don't mean, because if the doctor's like, they don't know a lot of history, I'm like, yeah, I can't really get too much for you. They're not being super cooperative. Then we have to keep them. And that unfortunately takes a bed away from a patient who might actually need a bed on a psych floor. So cooperation is a big thing. Let's see. Ellen could have gotten Baker acted in Florida for her little blog post about final acts. Clearly AZ not as hardcore. Yes or no? I mean, it depends on the context. Where I live in Florida is a little bit different, obviously, than some other places. So a cop might get a call and see that and think like, yes, I'm going to be on the safe side and bring them to the hospital. But assuming she gets brought to an actual hospital, not a community center, she's probably getting let go. Why? Because posting that thing about final acts is, number one, it was kind of like not a current situation. Like, she's talking about they might, you know, push me or whatever, or like I felt like they were pushing me, and I don't know. Number two, there's no specific threat there. She's not saying, I'm going to do this to myself, I'm going to do that to myself. So at that point, like, and, you know, given all we know about this person and just operating on the information we have, like, at that point, what benefit would there be to taking that person and putting them in a hospital for 2 to 3 days tops? Because she's not going to qualify for involuntary, like, hold past the 72 hours, even if she does make it to a unit. So what would be the benefit of putting her on one, really? Here's what happens to people who get brought in on 72-hour holds and they don't want to get treatment. They're going to be there for the 3 days or whatever, or the doctor's going to let them go the next morning, or whatever the doctor sees it. It could be a couple hours, you know? So they'll get a diagnosis, but it's probably, in this case, like a case like this where this person's been treated before and seen before, like, it's probably a diagnosis they already know about. They cannot force medications on you if you're not, like, court ordered to do so as like a long-term patient. So there are certain things that you cannot force on people, and there's certain patients that are so, like, they have such a diminished capacity that you can make them take the medication, or you might have to inject them. But in this case, like, you're not going to get somebody who's, like, well off and educated and knows what they're supposed to do, knows what's right and wrong, knows the risk and benefits of taking certain medications, like, understands what the doctor's telling them, that kind of stuff. You're not going to get them in a position where you can force them to do anything. So really, all that's doing is taking up a crisis bed from somebody who needs the crisis bed. There's the thing about, like, certain disorders or certain illnesses is, like, there's types of things that can be addressed on a crisis unit, and there's types of things that cannot. So say, like, somebody comes in because they're homeless. They're repeatedly coming in saying, I'm suicidal, I have nowhere to go, that kind of thing. If that's happening and it's the 15th time they've been in the ER of the month for the same thing, you got to say, like, hey, like, why aren't you following up with these resources from when you were discharged? When was the last time you saw an outpatient doctor? That kind of thing. And if the answer is just like, I don't know, or I didn't have transportation or whatever, I'm like, well, we set you up with all these things. So you have to be kind of confrontational and be like, look, like, clearly this isn't working. So putting you on a unit again for 2 or 3 days is not going to fix your homelessness problem. Like, being empathetic, like, I know that sucks, obviously, but, like, there's not much I can do for you at that point. And so all I can do is direct you to the list of resources you were given the last 14 times, or help you get transportation to a shelter, that kind of thing. So it's a lot. So I did not work this weekend. I worked last weekend before we got on the stream, so I had a lot more to talk about that day. But anyways, I just wanted to answer any questions anyone had, like, leftover questions. Did Laura threaten to unalive? No, not really. There's a difference between a threat and a statement, in my opinion. So a threat is like, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to do this, right? So if a statement is like saying, like, you know, like, one day I might really want to end it or something like that. Like, that's a statement. That's not an immediate, incredible threat of harm. So it has to be apparent that right now there needs to be emergent action taken to stop that person from doing what, like, hurting themselves or doing what they're about to do to hurt someone else right that minute, or, like, in the immediate future. So you can't just go around picking people up for, like, stuff they've said in the past, or, like, random shit they said, like, last weekend while they were drunk. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how that works. Julia Ann, hey, thank you very much. Nice to see you too. If Jingris thinks she has mental health issues, is he required to do anything about it? I don't know. I couldn't really answer that question. That's a good question for Natus. But honestly, like, if just strictly from an opinion standpoint, I can't tell you what the laws or obligations are for attorneys, but from an opinion standpoint, no. And that's shitty, but no. Because mental health issue is, like, a broad term, right? So, like, there's things that qualify as a mental health issue that would not be well served on an involuntary unit, and they have the ability and capacity and all that to make the choice themselves to get or not get treatment. Like, you can't force somebody who doesn't meet criteria for a crisis unit to get treatment. You can't. Melly Holly, hey, thank you. From Sydney. I'm hoping to go back there in November. We'll see. Hey, Erica. No, but I've seen this raised a lot. And I'll also say, like, people are really quick to determine that bad behavior or like antisocial behavior is part of a mental health problem. And I've said this over and over again, but some people really are just assholes. So in the immediate aftermath of some kind of like threat or tragedy, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it was a mental health issue or whatever. I'm like, no, because like that person might have been like, sure, like say somebody has a personality disorder, right? Like, personality disorder is something that can be treated with therapy over time if you are participating willingly and like actually doing the work and being honest with your therapist, stuff like that. That is something that can be treated. And so if somebody's going through with treatment and all that, and then one day they get mad at somebody for, let's say, like cutting them off at a light or something, and then that person ends up in some kind of road rage incident, that's not because of their mental illness. Like, they knew better. Like, if it was because of their mental illness, it'd be like, that's because like their symptoms will not allow them to control themselves in that situation. And that's just not the case. Like, people know better and people do shitty things all the time. And it's not a symptom of their mental illness. You know, and some people are not even diagnosed with a mental illness and they'll do shitty things. And people will be like, well, they must be crazy or something like that. And like, no, I like to acknowledge that there is just a lot of people in this world who do shitty things. Sometimes that's out of self-preservation. I couldn't say what it is, you know. It depends on who it is, but mispronounced name says, as her lawyer, he's required to do what's in her best interest. So if he isn't getting her help, then I am what he's admitting she's lying. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because he kind of has to do what she wants to an extent. If she's not in a situation where she's like legally meeting the criteria for a crisis, then that doesn't really make sense. Think about it. Like, what if like every lawyer who had a patient who seemed like anxious or like seemed like they were a little bit like antisocial or seemed like they had depression, like what would happen if lawyers had to try to get them to seek treatment? They would spend all their time trying to talk to people and they go into counselors. So like, it's just not their job. The difference being, if she were to say to him, like, I want to off myself, or I feel like I want to off myself because of these comments or whatever, then he has a responsibility to, you know, do something. So, and I don't even think that's a legal responsibility. I think that's just like a moral, ethical responsibility. Denise says, how do you tell the difference between Alzheimer's, dementia versus poor life choices? So that's really a neurological thing. So like, if I had somebody come through and there were concerns for dementia, and like, especially if they're older and they've never been diagnosed, and I'm like, hey, this isn't really adding up to a psych issue, because they're all of a sudden they're like a very different person than they were when they came in or when the paperwork is written. And this does happen a lot especially with the elderly population on like the weekends and stuff like that. Like, if that were to happen, I would tell the doctors, like, hey, we need to have this person admitted and they need a workup for dementia because something is not right here. And like, normally they catch that before it even gets to me, right? So like, I'll go and in passing, I'll talk to these people, but then a lot of times our doctors will catch it and they'll be like, this person needs to go to the hospital. Like, they need to be on the hospital floor, and a neurology needs to see them, you know, because it's not just psych at that point. It's like it's a neurological thing. So I don't really specialize in that area at all. If there is a true concern for that, then I would say be on the safe side and you need to check this person out medically first. And then if the neurologist and whoever does the testing and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, there's no signs of dementia or anything like that here, it's a psych issue, then we can move them from the hospital floor to the Baker Act floor. So I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody. Do you ever have the opposite? Someone serious about that threat, but good at talking their way out of it so they can be released? Yeah. And a lot of times that is people who are coming in when they have done or said something threatening, and it was like they were just angry or they were just like high or whatever, but they won't tell the truth. So like I'll question them about it. And like if they would tell me, so if somebody told me like, listen, I had been drinking a lot and I just said something I didn't mean, or like I had done some Molly earlier, and so I just felt like this and that and crazy, then I'm more likely to try to advocate for that person to be able to leave than somebody who won't tell me the truth, because somebody can come in and test positive for all manner of drugs, and they will still try to tell me, no, I wasn't using anything. Obviously not true, especially when they come in. These people are usually the ones that are kicking and screaming and trying to bite people, and they have to go in restraints. And the thing about patients who have to go in restraints in the ER, there are no boundaries in the ER. Like somebody there for, like I mentioned before, like blood pressure or like chest pain or something could just be sitting there minding their business, trying to like just like be patient and wait it out, see what's going on with their issue or whatever. And all of a sudden they're looking around and there's patients fighting. There's 7 security guards wrestling somebody down to get in restraints. Like it can be very traumatic for everyone involved. So it's just tricky. But yeah. And those people who end up in those situations, if they wake up, after they've gotten their emergency treatment medication, which is like a shot of something, and after they've become like alert and they seem oriented to everything, if they tell me the truth, they're just like, listen, I was using earlier and I kind of lost it. I don't really understand what was going on with me, but I just know that I was using and I feel fine now. I don't have any problems outside of this. Like it was just the drugs. Then I'm feeling like I have an obligation to advocate for that person to leave. Why? Because it's cruel to keep somebody in psych for a drug problem. Not only cruel, but illegal here, because the Baker Act, the Florida statutes, they do exclude intoxication, and they exclude certain disabilities, autism, dementia, Alzheimer's, stuff like that. That's excluded from Baker Act criteria. So you cannot hold somebody under a Baker Act for symptoms that occur because of those illnesses. Why? Because the crisis stabilization unit is meant for psychiatric treatment, and those are not psychiatric problems. True psychiatric problems like depression, schizophrenia, stuff like that, like true schizophrenia, where you have issues like outside of drug use. It's not just when you're using drugs. And drug use can cause that over time. But if somebody is only, and this is like a one-off thing, like somebody comes in freaking out and they're screaming and they're like telling me I slept with their baby mama and stuff like that, which happens or happened a couple times. But if somebody's doing that and then they wake up, I don't know, after they've kind of detoxed a little bit, then, and they are a normal human being, functioning human being, I'm not going to hold it against them. I'm not going to be like, well, you said a mean thing to me earlier, so I'm going to make you stay here. Like, no, that's not cool. So what I would do at that point is try to help them come up with a safety plan. Like, here, if you start to have these thoughts and feelings and you're not using, please come back here. Here's how you can get here without having to pay for anything, that kind of thing. That's where I'm obligated to try to help them with that. So it's cruel to keep certain people on a psych unit when it won't help them. And it will not help you to stay on a psych unit if you have a drug problem. There are dual diagnosis facilities that are designated for that kind of thing. And it's like they treat co-occurring mental health and substance use disorders. But if you're not one of those designated facilities, you should not be holding a drug addict, basically a drug addict on your unit who's like has no problem but drug addiction. Wallace Juno, thank you for the membership. I appreciate you. Earlier today, I did a members only post where I will be sending handwritten mail to any channel members who want to get handwritten mail. I'll send it to you. So if you are a channel member and you want that, please let me know on the post, the members only post I did today. You can find it on my YouTube channel in the community tab. If you want to become a member, you're welcome to also join that group. So, well, thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. Okay. Do you have your own safeguards against burnout in place? So I stopped doing it full time because I did get burnt out and it was really bad. Not only that, but, and I won't go into anything too graphic, but there's a lot of horrors in that job because in ER, it's not just like a psych place. So like I'm surrounded by any manner of patient. It doesn't matter if they have nothing to do with psych or not. So I would see like seeing a person die in real life is very, for me, who's like very scared of death, it's very traumatic. So, and I did get a little desensitized to it, but at some point it became so gruesome and so sad that I was just like, I cannot be around this all the time anymore. Because we also have, peds. I've seen, the staff breakdown over like babies dying, and I've seen people come in and survive gunshot wounds, and it's just like the most horrifying thing ever. Not like any gunshot wound. I'm talking about like self-inflicted on a live gunshot wound, where they got the angle wrong, blew off part of their face, and they were alive for however much longer. Most of the time they don't survive it, but like long term they don't survive it. But there are times when they do, and it's very, very sad. And it's hard to see like with your own two eyes. It's different than like reading a story about it. It's different than listening to a story about it. I can't describe to you. There are no words that would really describe to you what it feels like to lay eyes on that. So to do that, like sometimes multiple times a week, to see that is just terrible. And then like the worst part is like the family members who are in the hallway crying and stuff like that. And there's like nothing I can really do for them, so. Bruce, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. If you got a membership gifted from Bruce and you want to get mail, go ahead on over to that community post from earlier, and I will send you the mail. It has my email address in it, so you send your address to my email. Please don't post it online. So yeah. Oh, cool. Bethany got one. If I could gift them myself, I would. I tried. It would not let me do that. So, all right. That being said, does anybody have any last questions before we go into our next little segment here, which is the bad advice segment? Questions relevant to the case or whatever are encouraged because that's what I was trying to get into. But like sometimes I just go off on a tangent, So like ultimately, my opinion is that when people ask about like court-ordered psych evals and stuff like that, I'm like, a court-ordered psych eval in a family court case related to like, even though they're fake here, like children, like she would be evaluated for like a custody situation, which is like they're going to do like personality tests and parental fitness tests and stuff like that. But like, what would somebody who's not actually pregnant with twins who brought somebody to court for that, how would they benefit from a custody evaluation? You know what I mean? So like court-ordered custody evaluations, court-ordered like family court evaluations are much, much different than a crisis evaluation. And for a crisis evaluation to take place, there has to be a legitimate reason to believe that that person is in immediate life-threatening danger. And we just don't have that. Ultimately, on the other end of that would be, even if she was accepted like to a unit and they took her for the 72 hours, this is not going to yield any long-term benefit unless this person decides for themselves, hey, like I really want to do better. So, and that's very, very unlikely based on what we've seen happen. So, Shanna Lee, besides the negatives, what are the positives about your job? Okay, well, I had like last weekend, I had like She was almost 80 years old, this lady. And she lived on her own. Like, she had friends around, but she lived on her own. And she just hadn't been able to talk to anybody. And so I was not very busy that day. So I had the chance to just like, usually these evaluations go quick, but I had the time that day to just sit down there and talk to her for like an hour. And that was really nice. I've met some people where I'm like, oh, that guy was so cool. And like, most of these are elderly people, you know, because they have all kinds of stories. And I'm like, if I have the time of day to just sit there and listen to it, I will. I'm not just going to like be lazy and go like, you know, sit on my butt and not do anything. Like, if I have the time, I will use it appropriately. So grateful to know people who go to the hospital in that state have such a fair person evaluating them, but sad that it does affect your own life. Yeah, I mean, there's really no way around it. I did it for several years. I worked full-time in psych, and now I'm still in some kind of healthcare position, and I still work at the hospital in psych. It's just mostly on weekends. So like next weekend I'll be working at the hospital, but now I work kind of, it's very removed. So if somebody goes to the hospital, the insurance won't pay. My job is then to read over the medical record and explain to the insurance company, like, hey, this is why you have to pay for this. This is why you need to pay for this. And of course, it's like put more nicely than that. But where I work is, I work remote, but where I work is doing like claims denials and stuff like that. So it's a good job. I love Nikita. Did I say that right? I love Nikita. Yeah. Okay. Was she officially diagnosed with something? I don't know. At some point, yes, because she said that she has depression and stuff like that. But I don't know really what else. And I'm very careful about what I say. So like, I don't like to give speculative diagnoses, if that makes sense. In a situation where I would even give a provisional diagnosis, it's going to be a professional situation. Like, I won't even do that. I've had people privately talk to me and be like, hey, what do you think? And that's fine. But like, I'm not going to publicly be like, hey, this is what's wrong with this person. You know what I mean? But I can say, like, I see a lot of antisocial behavior, and that's what I believe the main problem is. The behavior is just, there's a complete lack of regard for others. So all right, anybody else before we bring Bruce and Brad on? You open up Discord. Okay. Ooh, this is what I'm talking about. I can't touch this thing without it making like a huge noise. What are you studying for? A new role or is it certifications? So I am in school for digital media design, total 180. Has anybody in the comments, if you've seen the show Wentworth, please let me know. I started editing, making show reels for this thing called Wentworth Con. And it was really fun. And so it was like, oh my gosh, like I don't, this is like this is the thing that I enjoy the most. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy doing this the most with my time. And it wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was like, I want to do this like forever. So it wasn't like videos of me that I was making, which is why I have another YouTube channel where I just post the show reels, but it's an amazing show, Amy. You should watch it. And I have the show reels that introduce a lot of the actresses at these conventions. The next one's in New Jersey, so I'll be there in September, and then Sydney hopefully in November if I can save up the funds for the flight. It's on my birthday actually this year, the Sydney Con, so I'll hopefully be going back. But I make the show reels for those, not all of them, but most sometimes, and I really love doing that. It's something I kept to myself for a long time. Where like people will ask me about it, like, "Oh, that was so great! Like, which ones did you do or whatever?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm so like shy about it." But like, I don't know, I really love it. So I decided to go back to school. At first, I was just doing computer science because I was like, I need to have something to fall back on if this doesn't work out. But then I realized, like, I've been working in healthcare for so long, and I'm still working in healthcare while I'm in school. Like, if for some reason this doesn't go anywhere, I will still have somewhere to go. You know what I mean? So Wait, Reg Angel, no way. I haven't seen Big Brother. Reg Angel, I'll show you some pictures later. Send me a DM. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna send that invite. Where in NJ can I show up in Fangirl? At Whippany? Yeah. I don't know if you're near there. Are we birthday twins? My birthday is November 17th. Hey, Bruce.
We exist.
What's up?
Humans. Hello, Internet.
Okay. This microphone, I have the arm, and the microphone is, it's fine.
Okay.
It's cool. But I feel like every little thing that I do is getting picked up on. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Oh. What mic is it?
F Deuce? I don't know. It's some podcasting kit.
F Deuce. What?
Yeah. That's what it's called. FDUCE. Oh, here's Brad.
That sounds
Hello,
like an
Bruce
AI
from Oregon
name.
here.
Yeah.
This is episode 0.
Maybe the first. Maybe the last.
Right.
You never know.
So I like it that it has the arm, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I like that it's picking up on every little thing.
Does it have a regular mic mount? We could put a different mic on it.
I don't think it's the mount. I think it's the arm.
Is the arm all
It's got the old springs on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a cheap one. It's a very cheap one.
You got to watch those springs. They'll just pop and then.
Dude, like, how am I supposed to get
Put
like
your eyes
the
out.
other one, the one that for the current mic that I have was like $200. I was like, I can't buy that. So
Do you
here
have
we
a
are.
desk in front of you? I like my.
I do. Oh, that's a cool one. I like that.
I like my
Yeah,
little.
that just
stand.
sits on the stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just move it around.
Whereas
Maybe I
I've
just need to
got
push it more away.
the low
Ooh.
yeah, the
Low profile.
low profile boom that just kind of hangs on the side of my desk, and that
Red's
makes
a
it
low
easy.
rider.
It makes
I like
it
it.
easy because I can throw it against the wall to keep it out of my way.
Nice.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, let me open my email because that's where I ask people to send their bad advice prompts. And anyone in the chat, if you have a bad advice prompt, you can either type it in the chat or DM me on Discord if you want to do a call in, because we can do that. As bad as that could go. I'm just gonna do it. All right, let's see. Oh, I have a lot. Okay, I'm gonna type these, or I'm gonna paste these into Google Docs so I don't show people's email addresses. Okay, hang on. Okay. All right. Here's our first prompt. Let me zoom in a little
Ooh.
bit. I'm visiting family. I want to watch good videos like Lauren and Bruce. My sister wants to watch boring gardening videos. How do we resolve this?
Trial by combat.
Only using gardening tools, though. You have to fight with the gardening tools.
Mm.
You have to make sure that you sharpen them first.
Yeah. Saving Grace Farm, 134 people are watching, only 85 likes. Come on, man. I agree with that.
Have you ever been to a store that has like novelties and gifts and toys and stuff, and they have those wooden guns that have like clothespins on them, and you can like shoot rubber bands with them?
Mm-hmm.
I think they should shoot each other at point blank range with the rubber band guns until somebody gives up.
You don't even need a gun. You just hold it between your thumb and first finger and just go.
Yeah, you could do that if you
I was
don't
never
want
very
to go
good at
get
that.
the clothespin thing. But the clothespin thing would be more aesthetic.
Okay, here's my thought. Paintball guns to the nipples, and whoever can take the most shots wins
Ooh.
and gets to pick what you watch.
Colorful.
Yeah.
Sister has the advantage because she could probably be wearing a thick bra. Then
No, you have to take that off.
You have to take it off. Who says?
That's rules of the paintball nipple game.
I didn't know that. My bad.
Come on. Study the rules.
Hold on a second, guys. Let me pull up this next one. Okay.
Watch porn uncomfortably until somebody gives up. That's a great answer.
Who said that?
Cat lady.
Oh my god. Okay. How many pairs of underwear would you pack for a 7-day beach vacation? Explain why, please.
Oh man.
Bruce?
So 7 days. This includes like the day going there and the day coming back. Like it's
I'm gonna
all
say yes.
inclusive.
Let's say yes.
I would pack 7 because
3.
there's 7 days.
Okay, but that's a lot of sweating in 7 days. You know what I mean? Ugh.
I don't care. 7 is my answer.
Well, okay. Listener who sent us this prompt, how often do you get swamp ass?
Wow.
Well, if you live in a swamp, it might be a little bit different. If you're going to,
I mean, down where I live, we kind of do. So.
Look, it's a beach vacation. All else fails, you just put your swimsuit on.
Ew, that sounds painful. To
Why?
wear a swimsuit. To wear a swimsuit the whole time. Women's swimsuits are not comfortable.
we didn't say it was comfortable. You hang them to dry.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You can find a man and steal his swimsuit and wear that.
Okay. So I'm going to say 3. Bring 3 pairs of underwear for a 7-day beach vacation.
3?
Why? Yeah. Why?
think-
Because
You were complaining about 7 because of swamp ass, and you go lower.
this
makes
isn't
no
good advice,
sense.
Bruce.
That's why I said 3, because the other days you could just get a boyfriend for each day and then wear their clothes.
I was going to say you could get
Damn.
bring 3 pairs, and then every day you could just. Does anybody have any of those
Brad has
keyboard
beach
like?
game.
Does anybody have any of those keyboard vacuums, the little tiny ones? You can just use that to get the crop dust out of it, and then you can rewear it. So we're fine. You only need
Dust?
3. Crop dust. Yeah. Don't tell me you don't know what that means.
Oh,
I mean,
you
sand.
we don't
No.
do handhold vacuums. We do handhold
Oh.
blowers.
What the fuck is that?
Ooh.
Mine's a little vacuum.
Well,
Does it blow really hard? Because once you have one
yes.
of those, you don't have to go find a boyfriend on the beach.
when you're cleaning out computer cases, you don't want to suck. You want to blow. So you have to get a handheld blower.
Could you repeat that, please?
I'm going to put that on the soundboard.
Yeah, please. You don't want to suck, you want to blow.
Wow.
All right, let's see what else.
That's legit advice, not bad advice.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see.
No,
We're
for some
saying this-
reason, sucking creates more static electricity in the air versus blowing, and I don't know how or why, but that's the.
I think that's
supposed reason.
true. Yeah. IT. We're dragging the IT advice into the gutter.
Hold on. Oh, dude, I got
No,
an email.
it's
that
not
was-
compressed air. It's just a fan that sucks air in through the bottom and blows it out the one side.
All right,
it's
guys.
it's a reverse vacuum.
Guys in the chat, the email advice prompts are getting a little stale. Why don't you go ahead and ask us
Refresh
some
them.
questions? I did. Ask us some questions, guys. Let me check Discord.
Then have BK. Sabine goes to Burger King for breakfast.
Hey man, I lived for them French toast when I was a kid.
That could be good.
Because you either go to McDonald's to get the hot cake plate, or you go to Burger King to get the French toast sticks.
Hold on, I've never had breakfast at Burger King. Is it any good?
You've got the sausage, egg, and cheese croissants.
3
Janet,
3 pairs a day. Wow.
Janet, please explain crop dust. How would you explain crop dust? Well, for me, it's like when you use a fart as a weapon. I don't know how else to put it.
Like when you call Brett from Ravgen and fart on him on the phone.
It's when you get a sunburn and you get all them little flakes coming off of you, because you obviously take off your bottoms so that you can get all of the parts, so you don't have the terrible tan lines. So crop dusting is when you get the skin flakes falling off of your butt.
Wow. That's worse than toe flakes.
It's significantly worse than toe flakes.
Yeah.
I want to see a rated R movie, but my babysitter canceled. What do I do?
Take the kids to go see the rated R movie. Kids grow up fast.
Maybe she's the only kid and she's like 15 or something. You know what I mean? Or no, maybe the babysitter was supposed to take her.
Well, then how are they going to... Wait, what?
Well, who are you in this scenario?
The babysitter was going to sneak them into the movie?
Well, maybe the babysitter, if the babysitter is over 17 here, then they can take them to the movie. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's the mom or something. So
a smuggling operation.
If the babysitter's a blonde, just go take a knife over to her house and stab her. Then you can be the rated R movie.
Why does she have to be blonde?
It's turned real dark.
Because the blondes always go first.
That's the black guys always went first.
Fire up the chainsaws.
How racist of you, Lauren. My God.
It's true. The movies always get rid of the brother first. I can't help it. Okay, so they go, and it's the same thing with lesbians. It's lesbian, black person, and then after that, it's the hot people that are white, I guess. So yeah.
That rules me out.
Fuck off. Yeah. No, it's always the gay person or the black person that goes first. It's like it's like a rule of horror movies, apparently. That's not racist. It's just observation. And also, if they make that joke on TV a million times, so. Okay, I saw something. How do I treat a sunburn?
Give it a little Haktua action.
Where is the sunburn?
Haktua. Mayonnaise. The warmer, the better.
You know what? I've never had mayonnaise.
Crisco.
I guess
you're missing out.
I guess I've never eaten it because I'm supposed to use it as sunscreen, apparently. So.
Not sunscreen, sunburn.
Yeah, but you prevent sunburns with that, right? Well, I guess you can't treat it.
No, this is a treat. So they already have sunburn.
You already have sunburn.
It's too late. They're burnt.
Have you ever had that ginger sauce at the hibachi places? I feel like that's like a good substitute for aloe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ginger or the wasabi?
What's the wasabi? I'm talking about the brown sauce. They call it ginger sauce where I go, but it's a brown sauce. Kind of chunky-ish.
Brown sauce. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking sushi. I'm like, there's no ginger sauce.
I mean, the chunks will help exfoliate the sunburn. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Erica, you should have come up to Michigan. We got hibachi burritos.
Hibachi burritos?
Wait, what?
I want to go.
I want a hibachi burrito every day.
Oh, me too. I've never heard of that.
And then I'll tell Greg.
Pull this out.
He'll be the only one that knows.
Only Greg knew I went to hibachi every day. All right, what do we got here? I'm supposed to make a chocolate cake, but I'm out of cocoa powder. What should I use instead?
Do you have a black friend?
What?
What? Oh dear.
You get your garlic peeler, and then you just go a little bit on the forearm.
Oh. That's worse than toe flakes.
Toe flakes.
I never thought I'd be missing toe flakes. Oh, chocolate cake out of cocoa powder. I would use rutabaga.
What is rutabaga?
Rutabaga.
It's the stem of a really big leafy plant. Or no, that's rhubarb.
What are you talking about, dude?
No, we had rhubarb growing in our garden, and our German neighbors would take it and make rhubarb chocolate cake, and it was delicious.
Yeah. Rhubarb is good. This is bad advice. I want to use rutabaga.
That sounds disgusting. I don't care what it is. It sounds nasty. You know what I mean?
You could use toe flakes.
What could you use instead of cocoa powder? Baby powder, maybe? Like with a little chocolate syrup mixed in?
Cocaine?
I mean, that seems like a waste of good drugs. Like, if you had cocaine lying around and you didn't want to snort it, would you really put it in a cake instead of selling it?
Maybe.
Is that something you've done?
Depends on how lit you want your party to be.
I'm giving the bad advice. Come on.
All right. Sometimes I need the reminder too that this is supposed to be bad advice. All right, let's see what else we got here.
Rhubarb and cocaine.
Rhubarb and cocaine. That's ridiculous.
It's the name of my new hipster gastropub.
All right.
I'm about to put this dog in a pastry dessert if it keeps nudging me.
Oh.
Oh, should I just join? This is supposed to be bad advice, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, this is the best advice. What are you even talking about?
Oh, boy.
All right. We're ready for some more prompts, guys. Should I relight my joint?
How old
Why did
is
you
the
let
joint?
it go out?
Yeah. I'm just going to go with yes. But I don't know how old the joint is.
Tell us how old the joint is.
You could age it and then relight it. That would be great. Age it like 2 years. Make sure it gets some flavor crystals on it, aka mold.
So we're assuming it
And
ages
relight
like
it.
wine, right? So it's probably like,
Yeah.
I think like 5 years.
Make sure there's high humidity, over 70%
Claude
humidity.
says rolled like an hour ago. Okay.
So
Well,
I
that
will
doesn't say when
re-ask
it
my
went out.
question. Why did you put it out?
Wow. Yeah.
How
Your
far
first
along is it?
mistake was letting it go out, but
If I were you, I would just like, okay, so what you want to do is you want to take a dish, right? And you want to put like the weed in the dish, what's left of your joint. And then you want to put some oil in there. And then you want to stick your hand in it, get it nice and oily, and it's got weed all over it. And then you want to put it over the stove. And then just, burn
what kind of
it.
oil?
Whatever you want, dude. Olive oil?
What has to
As
be
long as
burnt
it's not a
point?
seed oil. Seed oil is bad now.
Canola?
Is that true?
Canola oil?
What is that?
Our one of our local restaurants is proudly talking about they're no longer using seed oils in their fryers because
not know
they're
that.
supposedly growing bodies of evidence saying that seed oils are bad.
No seed oil. What kind of oil do they use? Like crude gasoline or
Probably
Motor oil?
beef tallow or lard. We had the best fries at Hot Now when I used to work there because they used actual lard for the fryers.
I would use synthetic motor oil.
Synthetic motor oil. That's a. Okay. I want a tattoo. My sister is trying to convince me that I should get a star or something small, but I want something dumb and maybe about the LO case. What should I get?
Ooh.
Did you forget about your tramp stamp? Come on.
I mean, what if they already have a tramp
Well,
stamp?
we're trying to give bad advice. Let's see. Getting a tug tramp stamp would be good advice.
No,
let's see.
not a tug tramp stamp. You got to get the internet lawyer tramp stamp.
Oh.
What does that even look like?
Interesting.
Is it his face or?
It
Could be.
Oh, you know the movie poster from Twins that has Gingris's face and Laura's face on it? Have you seen that?
I don't think I
have not.
have.
I think Buttons made it.
Oh, Buttons is great.
It's like the Twins movie poster with DeVito and Schwarzenegger, but it has their faces on it. That would
Oh,
be
I haven't
amazing.
seen that.
You get that tattoo, just right, the whole thing, the whole movie poster right on your chest. That would be amazing. Or maybe your back, because if you have boobs, it would get in the way. So it just depends.
There's Fetal
Yeah.
Attraction too.
What?
Huh.
Movie poster for Fetal Attraction.
That's
I think
true.
a Daver logo right across your forehead would be amazing. Daver.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I would go with a neck tattoo with an arrow that says "Baby's here."
Oh, wow.
Arrow insert here.
I mean, that's a little subtle. You have to, it has to say like jizz twice here and point at your mouth.
Jesus Christ, dude.
How about
All right,
that?
Do
we have
instructions
some,
numbered on your neck.
It's got to be real, you have to have straightforward instructions. You can't be vague.
All right, we have a question from Sabine. Hang on. I want to go to Europe, but I'm afraid of flying. How do I cure my fear? Get higher than the plane, bro.
You get on the Titanic too, disembarking from New York and going to Northampton.
What does that have to do with the plane? Oh, I get it. It goes to.
You could swim.
You should cure your
Swim.
fear of flying by getting in a wreck in every other form of transportation. And then that way you won't be afraid of flying. You'll be afraid of everything else.
Yeah. Flying will seem very safe at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I would just swim, though.
I mean, that could be fun. That could be fun unless you hate exercise and want to live. But
You need to bring a knife in case a shark attacks you. You have to shank them.
Shank the sharks. You
Safety
better hit him
first.
at just the right ankle, bro.
There
Do
was a
sharks
30-footer off Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, it's a long swim to Europe.
Do sharks have a jugular?
Safety first. What?
I said, do sharks have a jugular?
It's called eyes. I mean,
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know.
What
Bring
kind of lotion
dynamite?
should I use for my dry skin?
Mayonnaise.
Mm.
The warmer, the better.
have you tried all natural Kim Guy?
Oh, boy.
What do you think about this?
Krusty Clayton's.
Lotion for dry skin. I mean, there's the obvious answer of jizz, but I don't want to go that route. So
That's the
That's
third
what we
time
just
it's been
said.
mentioned.
That was Brad's answer.
Yeah.
Come up with
I don't-
something
I don't
new.
wanna go
Come
with
on.
that. Let me think about this. I'm gonna say dog saliva mixed with mayonnaise, mixed with jizz, mixed with wet cocaine.
This is a lot of work.
They didn't ask for an easy solution.
No, it's
Mm.
dog saliva, but you got to apply peanut butter first to get them to lick you.
Oh,
All right, hang on.
needs peanut butter in it.
Justice
Chunky
for
peanut butter.
victims. What would be the dream date I could take you on? I'm gonna let you guys go first.
Waffle House.
It's supposed to be
Um,
bad advice, dude.
House of Prime Rib.
That's amazing. You guys are giving good advice. What's something I hate? Let me think about
Well, I would say gas station to get margaritas and then to get some
A
sushi
deficit.
while you're there.
Okay, they said bad advice, so okay. Dream date you could take me on. What's bad advice for that? Honestly, any date at this moment in time, I'm very antisocial this week.
Robbing a bank.
Robbing a bank would be fun. Let me think. Dream date you could take me on. Well, one with lots of people around. Like first date, say it's a first date and you want me to be to a party with all your friends. How about that? That's a terrible one. Because I am not good around strangers.
Ooh, what about one of those dates where you're actually partitioned off from the other person so you can't see them first and you're trying to interact with them through the partition?
Well, like a makeshift Love is Blind type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Love is Blind.
That would
The
be fun.
pods.
I would do that, dude. I would do that.
That sounds fun.
I would apply it to be on that show if they liked fat people. But
The problem with that show is they rush you into trying to get married. Like, just let people date. Like, just relax.
yeah.
Who's that guy? The boy band guy and his wife?
Boy band guy. Oh, Nick Lachey.
Nick Lachey. Relax, Nick Lachey. People don't have to get married in 2 minutes.
Well, they do if they want to be on the show.
I know. That's why it's bad.
Yeah.
There was one, I don't know if it was those particular shows or not, but there's one girl was like itching to get like a Japanese guy as a boyfriend.
Mm.
And then he was like, well, let me, can I give you a hug? And they had blindfolds on and he hugged her. And then he was like, no, she's too big.
Oh, no.
Yo, I would be on like a Love is Blind type show if I didn't think I would get roasted terribly. So I would totally do that though. Let's see what else we got. We got some more.
There's plenty of regular dating shows. Are there?
Not that I know of.
I've never seen a show where people go on real dates. Like
I've
regular.
never kissed someone before. Any advice?
Oh. Now we're back to questions. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, if you get a really big bowl, like a mixing bowl, and you fill it with warm mayonnaise, you could practice with that.
What is with you and mayonnaise?
I mean, just think about closing your eyes, lifting the giant bowl closer and closer to your face.
I don't want to think about that.
until a little bit of the mayonnaise just touches the tip of your nose, and you go in and lean in for a nice kiss. Wouldn't that be
Ew.
amazing?
Ew, 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 ew.
And it's nice and warm.
Sorry,
You're
guys,
thinking
I'm
too shallow. You got to go with the sandbag trial for unhooking the bra.
All right.
It was from 40-Year-Old Virgin. They had
bags
the
of
breast,
sand.
yeah, the bags of sand.
Yeah, but Brienne, you know you're gonna try kiss the bowl of mayonnaise later after the stream's over. Don't fucking lie to us here. We know what you're gonna do when the stream's over.
It's gonna be on her
You're gonna
Instagram.
go try it, and it's totally fine. It's
Okay.
good advice from me.
Well,
Or
here's
at
some...
worst, you
Go
could
ahead.
get a Swiss snow cone from Dairy Queen. That'd be the closest.
What is a Swiss snow cone?
Twist.
Oh, twist snow cone. Okay. What is a twist snow cone?
What?
Where you get the vanilla and the chocolate and they're mixed together.
I have never had that.
What?
No, I've never had that. Do you mean ice cream?
The
Yes.
swirl with the two
Yes.
flavors in
I
one.
thought you said snow cone, like slushies.
Oh no.
It's like I didn't even know they had chocolate slushies.
If I said snow cone, then I'm a terrible person. No, I meant ice cream cone.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good.
Swirly.
hmm
I know what he was talking about, but I wasn't listening. So
Yes, soft serve.
Gosh, what can I say to this? So
he
my
says
good
you don't do hot tub dates in the middle of nowhere, Bruce.
Why not?
Oh, I certainly would. I was in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, and I had a hot tub.
It happens all the time in The Bachelor.
I would've-
So
I don't know. I was all alone, but
I would go with.
that's true.
let me
They have their
think of
portable
this.
hot tub, which probably needs to be disinfected.
I would say, you know how like in American Pie, they have was it Jim that was like, like making love to the pie? So you could do that, but like not with your dick. That would be my advice.
You're gonna make love to
What?
it with your butt?
You mean
No, with your mouth, bro. Well,
You
yeah,
mean
with your
kiss
butt,
the
with your butt
pie.
first.
you mean you want someone to kiss the pie?
Yeah.
Yeah, but with their like full tongue and everything.
Yeah,
It's
but what
probably-
kind of pie are we talking about? Because
I guess
we
it's
talking
like warm
pumpkin
apple
pie?
pie, right? It's got to be
What
warm
would you
apple
want?
pie.
cherry pie,
Is-
apple pie, pumpkin
Yeah.
pie,
Warm
rhubarb
cherry
and
pie.
rutabaga.
I don't eat a lot of pie, bro. I'm gonna let you pick. Lauren, have you never had mayo because it's unappealing, or you've just never had a chance to eat it? It's unappealing to me. I don't like a lot of things because of texture or like how they smell. So like, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Yikes. Okay.
Life is for living, Lauren.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Okay, hang on. I got
I've had enough mayo that I can choose to not have it.
Arf. I'm a dog,
right.
and my owner is kind of a bitch. Trust me, I know a bitch when I see one. Not to me though, just to other people. I like the neighbor though. She seems nice and has a better house. How should
Wow.
I go about moving in with a neighbor and ditching my owner?
Wow.
Have you tried walking into their house?
Yeah. Just jump the fence.
Oh my gosh.
And
What
start
if it's,
living there.
What if it's like an apartment complex?
An apartment complex.
Yeah.
When we were living in an apartment complex in Maryland, there was a huge Great Dane living like 2 units down from us, and they left the screen door open, and he just went right through the screen door, realized that he was now on the other side, and then went back inside.
Oh dear.
Okay, dog. My advice is to bite your owners in the jugular, and then next time you see an opening, just go.
Wow.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You'll be under a time limit though, so you want to try and get that done within like 2 or 3 days.
You don't want to starve.
True.
Complicated.
All right. I have
I
not
saw one
perused
from
the
earlier.
comments.
How do you get your spouse replaced? It
It's expensive.
How do you get your spouse replaced? Where do you know who sent it?
was at 1040.
40. Okay, I'll find it.
Mispronounced name.
Oh yeah, there we go.
My advice is return to sender.
Who the fuck
Wow.
sent them?
whoever the mail order bride place is, obviously.
Well, my advice is to fuck his dad.
Wow.
Or
Oh,
her
'cause
dad,
this is
I
a
guess.
guy. Well, if you can find that dog from the last question, maybe the dog can eat your spouse, and then you don't have
The whole spouse? What if it's a little dog? It could take months.
well,
not actually how long that would take.
portion it out. Get one of those big chest freezers.
Go with Chandler Hall to sit on this.
Who's gonna cut the portions, dude?
Get the chainsaws ready.
Oh my god.
Get the effing chainsaws ready.
That's right.
The Nick Rekieta soundbite.
That's right.
I don't know that.
We're in Oregon. If you don't have a chainsaw, you're in big trouble.
All right, let's see what else we got here. I don't know what that was a response to.
How
Indigo,
many
but
stamps? Given how many grandchildren Mary Lincoln's has, their spouse is probably one of her grandkids. Just send him to Mary's house.
I wish Mary Lincoln was here to give advice on this.
Right?
Someday, maybe. How do you get a refrigerator to a rooftop house party if it's too big for the elevators?
Trampoline.
Trampoline.
Yeah.
How do you know it's not just going to go straight up and then come back down and break the trampoline?
You
That's
got
why
to
you got to
angle
angle
it
it a little bit.
like a video game. You got to just achievement unlocked.
Oh, trebuchet.
Ooh, nice.
Trebuchet?
Yeah. It's a medieval stone thrower that they would use against castles.
Oh, I've never heard that. It's like a catapult?
It's similar to a catapult, but the idea is that it's got the big counterweight on the front, and then it launches from the back end.
Uh-huh. Huh. Okay. Well, let me think about this. Refrigerator, rooftop party.
Can you get the refrigerator at like Best Buy and then get the Geek Squad guys to carry it all the way up? And then when the party's over, you just return it. Then they have to take it back.
Take all the doors off. Then go up the fire escape. Just make sure to pivot.
Pivot.
Have you tried calling the fire department and telling them your cat is stuck on a roof, but then saying that the cat won't come out until the refrigerator is open, and then they put it on the big thingy that they put up? Does that make sense at all? What is it called?
Beast in the refrigerator? What's going on?
Like on that big thing that the fire department raises to get people up high. So like
It's called a ladder.
not a ladder, you dumbass. Like the electric thing. The electric thing that that you put it on there and then or you stand on it and they get people up high so they can like wash windows and shit like that. That thing.
Oh, like one of them aerial work platforms?
Sure. Let's
A
go with that.
bucket.
Okay, here we go. Hang on.
A ladder would work, though.
Okay.
Be like the Indian guy that can carry 15 things on the center of his head, just going up the ladder. No big
Put
deal.
900 refrigerators on a bicycle. Drive through town.
I
Oh,
want
the roofers. The roofers stacking shingles on their back.
Have you tried a really large pyramid of people?
Get a whole bunch of cheerleaders, make them do a human pyramid. Get the
I want-
refrigerator and just wheel the refrigerator up there.
Oh, cherry picker. That's what it's called, Miku. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to travel, but I don't have enough money. How can I travel?
Go Forrest Gump style. Just run.
Sue Dave Neal for $1.4 million in a defamation lawsuit, and then you can travel the world.
Hmm.
Well, first you got to get yourself to a truck stop. Then you got to do some things that you don't want to tell your mother, and then you'll eventually end up wherever.
My mom likes to know
Wow.
stuff. No, I was going to say hitchhike, but that works too, I guess. Where are you traveling to? Are you traveling overseas? Are you traveling across the country? Are you traveling interstate?
If you're under the
Someone
age of
can-
18, you could ask Leonardo DiCaprio, and he might take you onto a Mediterranean adventure.
Oh, come on. Be real. It's under 25.
That is tough criteria.
That is good advice.
Brienne says become a high-profile escort. Like, why high profile?
Wait, how do you get to high profile status as an escort? Don't you have to be like discreet?
Yeah.
Kind of.
What's going on with that?
Because otherwise, everybody knows you're out with an escort.
What's going on there?
I don't know, dude. All right.
There's a guy named Epstein or something. Maybe you can contact him.
Oh boy.
What should my Tinder bio say to attract a boyfriend?
Not crazy, loves horses.
Dude, what?
2 blowjobs on the first date.
Let's stay up late talking about our feelings. That's a good one.
Oh no.
You'll definitely get a boyfriend with that.
Oh, what was the one? I sent this one to my friend. It was really funny.
Mary Smith has never had peanut butter. You never had peanut butter?
Tinder. Switch to Hinge.
Dude, is Hinge? I'm back on the apps now. Because as you know, I got dumped in a text message like not that long ago. It was like a month and some change ago, but I was supposed to meet someone today actually, and then she had to reschedule. So now I'm on a date with you guys. But no, I'm back to using the app things. But
I turned my apps off.
Really? Why?
I think I'm going full hermit mode. I give up.
Dude, I do the same thing for a while. And I probably will soon because I'm just kind of like, I'm not into it. Like, nobody's piquing my interest right now.
You got to get on Bumble. Got to hit the markets that you usually don't hit.
Here's my question.
I did not like Bumble. Bumble was bad.
My question here to you guys about Bumble. Why do people who are like wanting friends go on Bumble and be like looking for friends when there's like a Bumble BFF mode? Like, why don't you just go to Bumble BFF? Like, why are you on the dating side?
Because they want to string you along and say, you're the best friend ever. I wish I could find a guy just like you that would treat me as good.
God damn it.
Because I was that guy. No kidding.
Are you taking calls, Lauren? Yes, I am. If you want to call on Discord, you can do that.
Amy wants the guys to reach out first. Lauren, how do you solve this problem?
So for me, it's a little difficult, but I look the most like a dude, so I guess I have to reach out first.
What?
I mean, let's be honest, dude. Let's be honest about it. I'm realistic. Oh, hang on.
Janet moved out. Janet sold her house and moved to the country. So do you just live in the grass? Like, what is happening?
Can you guys hear the phone?
We hear the who? The phone?
You can hear the Discord call? Hang on. Give me 1 second.
Janet, explain yourself. You sold your house and moved out to the country. Do you live like out of doors? What's going on?
Hold on. Yeah, 1 second.
So I sent my buddy this one. I don't know which app it was from, but
what is happening?
It says Laurel from the Virginia Military Institute.
What? Why is she wearing a bikini?
Can you guys hear the screen audio?
No.
You can't hear the person saying testing?
No.
Okay, hang on.
Her about
Brad,
me says,
who is that?
I am your ideal woman. 6'8", 250 pounds of pure muscle.
IB, can you mute the stream in the background?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We still can't hear them.
That's big. Hold on. Yeah, turn off the stream audio because I can't hear you.
I feel like if I ever see a dating profile with a bikini, I automatically assume it's like a scam. Will bear a child sure to lead nations? Oh no.
She's 6'8".
Hard pass.
Don't mute the phone because then we can't hear you. Mute the stream.
What? Only eat beef?
Hello.
You can only eat beef. What about scones? What about mayonnaise? Come on.
Okay.
Live a little.
That's fine. Give me 1 second, okay?
Amy works in public.
Can you hear me right now? Oh yeah, then you're fine.
Too much booze on a first date is a bad idea, though. I agree with Amy on that.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Not enough booze, just as bad.
Oh, I can hear someone.
You can hear now? IB, can you talk again?
You have to add it to stage and then change the layout to just the presenters.
Yep. Can you guys hear her?
No, not yet. Because he's removed from the stage.
Oh, but then how do I hide the screen but not the...
In the layout buttons, go to just the people icons, not the one with the...
Just the people. Oh, I see.
And then change the layout to just the presenter.
Okay. Ivy, can you mute the stream again and just talk to us on the phone?
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay. I hope I can. I won't be able to hear anybody though if I'm talking on the
You should
phone.
be able to hear us.
That's okay.
You can
Test
hear me.
one.
Test.
I can hear you. That's it.
Can you guys hear?
Mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Can
we
you guys
can
hear?
hear.
Okay, you can hear. Okay, we're good. What's your question? What's your question?
So I have this friend who has a client and he has this weird crush and it's really weird. And when she turns and looks at him with shark eyes and then she says, "Oh, you're my internet daddy." He's falling in love and he doesn't know what to do. And he wants to know if he should declare his love to the world on Twitter.
Client?
Wait, what?
What kind of client?
Well, I don't want to say because it'll give it away, but the person's pretty famous. They're both really famous. And if they tell the world, everyone will know.
I'm lost. Is
Wait,
anyone else lost?
There's two people.
Okay.
One of them likes the other one. Okay, let's say person A and person B. Person A likes person B. Who's doing this internet daddy?
But the person's pretty famous.
I don't think they can hear me.
I don't think
No,
so either.
I don't think they can either.
Everyone will know.
Oh, we can hear the stream though.
Yeah.
You know
like
what?
an
I don't
echo.
hear anybody else but you, Lauren.
Okay, Bruce, ask your question again. I'll relay it.
There's two people, person A, person B.
Person A and person B.
likes person B, but
Person A likes
but
person B.
B doesn't know.
Yeah, well,
But person B
A-
doesn't know. Is that what we're saying?
No, person B is the client, and person A is the consultant. And person B has a crush, and person A
Ooh.
has a crush. But if they tell the world, then everyone will know. But it's an internet personality. They're both internet personalities.
Uh-huh.
You have to keep it hidden forever until someone takes poison and dies.
But she has shark eyes when she looks at him, and he's in love. And then she whispers in his ear in the courtroom. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that.
What the fuck are shark eyes?
Wow. Can they take tinfoil?
You know, I don't hear you anymore.
Oh, what is
You
this
don't?
weird view?
Okay.
Can they
No,
take
I hear you
tinfoil
now. I
and
hear
put
you
it
now.
over
I don't hear
cardboard?
anybody else because you had me mute the screen.
All right. You've asked your question. I'm gonna let you hang up now so you can hear the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get some answers.
Hang on.
I have a great answer.
Okay.
All right. Let's give some answers. Bruce.
Yeah, so you get tinfoil and you put it over the cardboard sheets and you black out the windows and then you just bang in private.
But they want to tell the world, I guess.
No, don't do that.
The world doesn't need to know your hidden desires.
Yeah.
I was gonna say send a candygram to everyone in his office,
Whoa.
which might just be him and his wife, but that's fine.
Candygram.
Get
Yeah.
boudoir photos taken of the two of them and
Send-
put it in their. You send a fruit basket with them with their photos in there.
Yeah, just send flowers to his wife. It's all good.
Kelly Ballerina says, have you never heard of curtains? Curtains aren't good enough. We got to black out this whole room. There's going to be serious banging going on. We can't have any light coming in. Nobody can see in. It's very important.
Well, if nobody can see in, then you should go ahead and open the window and open the curtains because so just make it look like it's natural and like you're not trying to come out as a couple, and then just but actually make it really public.
Oh, they could bang a whole bunch of times and then do a deposition.
I would just act really shocked when people find out about it.
Shocking.
Oh my gosh. All right, let me see what else we got here. I know I missed a couple of questions. Mispronounced name, that is not true. Brad is the most beautiful, but thank you.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I had to pick one of you. I went in alphabetical order. BRA is greater
I
than
mean,
BRU.
it's a challenge because Glamour Shots shut down in the mall. So I'm just
You should have gone to Claire's first.
flailing.
Gotten some bling and then come on stream.
flailing at this point. I need a Pandora bracelet, charm bracelet.
Miku says, unironically, my Tinder bio said, give me whiskey and leave me the fuck alone. And we've been together for 9.5 years. That's awesome.
True
Ooh.
story. My wife picked me on Match because one of my photos was me in Renaissance Fair garb.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Should bust out the kilt again.
No kilts.
What?
Why not? What do we have to do to get you back in a kilt?
What?
I was never in a kilt. That's the
Bruce
problem.
What makes your
Bruce said
outfit?
it.
I know, but what makes your outfit a Renaissance fair?
Because it was a full cow's leather vest over top of a white shirt, and then I had the black pants that went down to my knees with knee-high boots.
Was it a puffy shirt?
It was pretty puffy.
Ooh. And were these pants real tight?
No. Poofy pants.
We can't win them all.
Poofy pants.
Let's see if I can find the photo.
Bell Mayhem says, I'm trying to figure out how to purchase geolocation information for cell phone activity in our backyard. There was a dead body and it's gone unsolved, and I want to know how it got there.
Wait, what?
Did they not have a cell phone on the body?
That sounds real. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to purchase geolocation. Okay. Huh. Interesting.
All right, this might scare some of you because it is Brad with no beard, but
Oh,
That's cute. I like it.
baby Brad.
That's a good picture. Yeah.
That is kind of a puffy shirt.
told
How
you.
long? How long ago was that?
Bruce, have you never heard of knee
2013.
breeches? Yeah, I haven't heard. I just want Brad. I think his outfit, he should have had tight pants.
Brad, you are so
Cat
cute.
lady.
That's what Sabine says. Everyone's loving Brad in the picture.
Valid.
Where were you 10 years ago? Come on, ladies.
What does it matter? You found your wife. All right, hang on. I got another one.
Because 10 years ago, I was actively searching
Yeah.
and going nowhere.
That's right.
All right, let's see. All right, we'll do this one and one more, and then I gotta go to bed. All right. I have a job interview coming up for a new job at Home Depot, but I'm a female and I don't know what to wear. What look should I go for?
There's a blue shirt
Brad's
that says
Renaissance fair
LOWE.
outfit.
Oh man. Gosh, what am I gonna say? Okay, I'm gonna go with what Brad said, right? The low shirt, but we're gonna do buttons made of rusty nails, and then pants made of like bad color. You know those color samples they do with the paint section. Just gonna weave those, make pants out of them. That'll probably do it.
You're gonna make pants out of paint samples and wear a Lowe's shirt?
Out of not the paint samples, but the color samples, if that makes sense.
No,
Like
you got to
those
do
little
like
paper things.
dragon scale mail with the paint samples.
Yeah.
Very Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I guess the nails can just go like as a bra. Oh man.
Sharp.
Sharp. Looking sharp, yep. What else could you do? Well, if you really want to make an impression, then I would ride in on one of those what do they call those? The things where they go up to reach the higher shelves. It's like a little mechanical thing.
You mean a
Yeah.
ladder?
Yeah.
No.
Like one of those. I would ride in on one of those. Yes, ride in on one of those. And then, make an impression by wearing what Brad just said to wear. There you go. You're going to get hired for sure.
We need to get you a ladder, Lauren.
You need to get me a ladder. Why?
Because you don't know what a ladder is.
Proper ladder etiquette.
Every time we have a question on this stream where somebody needs a ladder, you don't know what a ladder is called.
I know what a ladder is. It's like but I'm talking about one of the cars. Like the little things that you drive, and then it's got like a platform, and you
Ford
can put
Focus.
something on it. And yeah, that's what I meant, dude. That's what I meant, dude. Ford Focus, my ass. Okay. A prom dress made out of paint sample toilet hand earrings. Oh my.
Oh dear.
Oh, Bell Mayhem says their scenario was real. 2 years now, and law enforcement hasn't solved it. The body was dumped after the guy passed due to overdose. Well, that is unfortunate.
Oh,
I feel a little
Well, you've
bad
got
making
about
fun of
3
it.
years left before they're likely to delete all of the data, so you might want to get on that.
You should probably break into the police department. That'll help.
how long does it take to become a police detective? Because you could do that.
A detective? I have no idea. A recruit? Not that long. Not a recruit, but like a regular officer. Not that long.
That's my advice. Become a police detective.
It's gonna take a lot of time and dedication.
Hey, do you want to solve this crime or not?
All right, let's find one more. This will be the last one of the night, guys. If there's not one up here, go ahead and ask one in the comments.
Bell, that's something that generally needs a court order, and you need to know the provider of the cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. Hang on. Okay, last question, guys. Probably.
I mean, the better question is, why are you trying to find out this stuff about the dead body?
I'm sexually attracted to poison dart frogs. What should I do about this attraction?
Lick the frog in minuscule amounts and develop an immunity to the poison.
Ooh. Slowly over time.
What part of the... Okay, so a poison dart frog, what part of your body does it attack first if you get the poison? Do we know?
Depends, I imagine.
Okay, I would just say remove that organ.
Isn't it their skin?
Well, no. It's saying when your body produces the reaction, is it like a CNS thing or is it a poison dart frog?
This is complicated. My advice is to delete Facebook, get a lawyer, and hit the gym.
Why did they have to delete Facebook? What if they met the frog somewhere else?
I don't know. This is
Well,
just my advice.
Okay.
Take it or leave it, people.
So you got to pick a particular frog because apparently they produce lipophilic alkaloid toxins such as allopumiliotoxin 267A, batrachotoxin, epidamine, or histrionotoxin, or pumiliotoxin 251D. So you got to pick one so that you know which toxin you're dealing with.
You definitely need to pick a frog because if you tell the frog that they look like all the other frogs, they're going to break up with you.
Okay, well, I would go, since you're sexually attracted to them, with the poison dart frog that has the poison that ends in D. That's my advice.
What?
He was just reading the things. It said something D, the poisons or the types.
You didn't give it the D?
No, I said pick the one with a D at the end.
That's what she said.
Well, it's a sexual attraction to poison dart frogs. What do you want me to say?
So it's
I see.
interesting. This toxin is not a traditional toxin. It actually blocks an influx of sodium positive ions. So it basically makes you allergic to Gatorade, and your body will basically kill itself because it'll have an imbalance of electrolytes.
Oh. Here's some alternate advice. You could go get a PhD in biochemistry. And then
you
bang
get
the frog.
free access to frogs, and then...
Yeah. Go get a PhD, learn all about the frogs, and then go bang the frog.
This is getting really deep, guys. Okay, no, this will be the last question now, okay? Question, my mom saw a celebrity at the airport. What do I tell her to do? Who is the celebrity?
Scream, run over to them, and ask for a picture.
Boy.
If you want to spend more time with a celebrity, run up to them, grab their bag, and then throw both your bag and their bag into a restricted area. You're welcome.
In the airport. What do I tell her to do? Well, to me, at the airport, any time of day, no matter what time of day it is, it's like happy hour time. So go to a bar. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's probably where you would find a celebrity. Brad, your turn.
I don't even care that she saw a celebrity.
What? I already said. You scream and run
Oh,
over to
that's
them.
right. My bad. I forgot that you said that. You should have screamed it, and then maybe I would have remembered.
Loud noises.
All right, guys. That's such a maniacal laugh, Warren. That's how I feel about it. Manic. All right, I'm gonna take off and go to bed because it's 11:15 already. But I got work tomorrow. But thanks everyone for joining us and for sticking around through the bad advice. We'll do this again sometime soon, probably next weekend or something. I'm gonna end the stream now. But thank you everyone. Bye.
Bye.